Central America, the birthplace of fear. Not just poverty, not just crime. Something stranger. Mara18, La18, one of the most feared gangs on Earth. But here's the thing. This gang didn't start in El Salvador, Honduras, or Guatemala. It started in Los Angeles. Immigrant kids, 1980s streets. And it didn't begin as the monster we know today. It began, almost like a family. But something twisted happened. Something no one could predict. Civil wars ripped through Central America. Families fled. Landed in L.A. But the streets weren't kind. Mexican gangs ruled. African-American gangs controlled neighborhoods. Salvadoran teens? Outsiders. So they formed their own group. A shield, a defense. They called themselves 18th Street. At first, it was survival. Stealing, tagging, proving they existed. But survival has a way of mutating into something darker. Initiation was brutal. 13 seconds of beating. Not 10. Not 20. Exactly 13. They believed it built loyalty. And once you bled with the gang, you never left. They had rules. Tattoo codes. Hand signs. Whispers of satanic rituals. Though no one could ever fully prove it. But one rule stood above all. La18 was your blood. Your soul. Your entire life. Family didn't matter anymore. The gang became God. Here's where it gets strange. 18th Street wasn't always the rival of MS-13. At one point, they were allies. Then came a betrayal. A power shift. A secret no one will talk about in public. Some say it was a fight over drugs. Others say a single killing shattered everything. But whatever happened, it split the underworld in two. Mara18 versus MS-13. A war that would stain entire nations in blood. In the 1990s, the U.S. began deporting gang members. Plane after plane. Back to El Salvador. Back to Honduras. Back to Guatemala. But these men weren't going home. They were strangers in their own countries. And what do strangers with no future do? They build empires. They spread tattoos, weapons, and codes like wildfire. Suddenly, Mara18 wasn't a street gang. It was an army. There's a neighborhood in Tegucigalpa. Ask the locals about Mara18. And watch their eyes drop. No one says their name aloud. Not out of respect. Out of terror. You pay rent to live there. Not rent to your landlord. Rent to Mara18. Don't pay. You vanish. Police enter. They don't come out. Whole cities became shadows of Mara18's will. Here's the part that doesn't make sense. Mara18's leaders claim loyalty. But loyalty keeps breaking. One leader orders peace. Another orders a massacre. One day, they're in a truce with MS-13. The next, they're slaughtering each other in prisons. Even their tattoos. Not consistent. Some mark loyalty to 18. Others carry symbols only insiders understand. Journalists call it organized chaos. But what if it's not chaos at all? What if the confusion is the design? In El Salvador's prisons, Mara18 rules. Cells become offices. Courtyards become meeting halls. Guards, bribed or broken. Prisons don't stop Mara18. They strengthen it. Orders go out from behind bars. Extortion, hits, and even international deals. It's a government inside a government. A dark mirror state. Whispers grow louder. Politicians cutting deals. Police officers feeding information. Some say entire elections were decided by Mara18. A pact sealed in blood and fear. And when journalists dig too deep, they vanish. Mara18 doesn't just kill. They erase. Rumors swirl. Not just violence. Something stranger. Ex-members speak of secret ceremonies. Candles. blood. Initiations whispered like ancient rites. They weren't just pledging loyalty. They were giving their souls. But no one can prove it. Every witness either recants or ends up dead. Here's the twist most people don't know. La-18 isn't one gang. It's many. Factions. Cells. Some loyal to leaders in El Salvador. Others answering to voices in Mexico. Others, maybe still tied to Los Angeles. They fight among themselves. But somehow, they're still united under one number. And that's the paradox. Disunity that fuels expansion. Disappearances. Not just murders. Whole families gone. Witnesses report masked figures. Black vans. Bodies never found. Forensic teams discover shallow graves. But the killings don't follow patterns. One victim is a rival. Another, a schoolteacher. Another, a child. The question is always the same. Why? No clear answers. Just endless whispers. Mara18 cleans its own house. Today, Mara18 is no longer Central America's secret. They're in Mexico, the U.S., Spain, and even Italy. Police raids reveal the same tattoos, the same hand signs, the same deadly loyalty. And yet, no single boss is in charge. The gang spreads like a virus, adapting, shifting, and surviving. Journalists brave enough to investigate always hit the same wall. Threats, messages. Stop asking questions. One reporter described it best. Mara18 is not a gang. It's a ghost. You try to grab it, and it slips through your fingers. Every discovery leads to more confusion. Every story ends in silence. And here's where the story leaves us. Is Mara18 dying or evolving? Governments claim victories. Mass arrests. Big trials. But the killings don't stop. The disappearances don't end. And every time police break one cell, two more rise. So here's the chilling truth. Mara18 doesn't need leaders. It doesn't need one city. It doesn't even need one country. It just needs fear. And fear is everywhere. So the question remains. If Mara18 is this unstoppable, what happens when they decide to step into your city?